Data types are the kindly use the data based on the kind of the data. You can store the columns. For example, if you would like to use the data allows you only the numbers, that we have to store the names. You might additionally consider the range of the columns, like I show in the example. Let's start with the char. What was the char? Data, the column, country code, so char 3. The char is a data type. In this example, the char is a data type, the fixed length of the string. This strings that holds the exact number of characters. So define the columns where the country code that stores the 3 letters of the column. If you give the 5, it stores the 5 letters, like USA or ZBR, whatever, like the JVN, like this. Let's create this. Okay, that's fine. It's successfully created a data. It's successfully created a table. In the table, you have only the country codes. The country codes, the char will takes only 3 characters. We mentioned this is a 5. This will takes the 5 characters. Then we have the var char. It's define char with up to 255 characters. If you try to define with data the 256, error should be the char and range. The var char is a data type. When you seen before, the variable length strings. The strings that can hold up to specify number of characters. It is used when you need to store the strings, but aren't sure exactly how long this is. Table. Interest. Okay, it's 100, as 1,000. Okay, that's fine. It's 100. It's already clear. It's successfully created. The spelling is no. Something is wrong. That's why. It's only the one column as I taken the null values as varchar 100. This varchar defines the was too longs, but the error message tells you have the maximum number of characters of the var is only accepting environment is 16,383, or you can use this as a I'll show you the example. Here the table 16383. This is the final value of environment variable of the varchar. If you increase the value of 16383 it will be throw an error. It's created only 383 bytes. It takes the 1683 values. Sorry, this is the maximum number of value. If you created the same thing, 85, it's thrown error. I show this is a too big value. The mail 683 was the maximum value until you can't create them. This is on the final value, but most of the cases we don't use this maximum value. But this is, remember this is one of the maximum value, 1683. And then enums. Enum is a data type for the enumerators. We can let's you create a list values that you want to allow the string columns. How create a table of the student and the student classes, the columns that can acceptable only like the values. Show the example like table. That's what we have. Store ID int. It takes such values. On the denominator created, it takes only such like values. You can insert I can also insert the store ID. Store ID is a value 1 and the fish. I want the fish in the single row, and can also insert the one other row, multiple rows. Enter. It's inserted. I'll show you the example. show the output. It's take only like values like egg, milk, or either stone error. Store. So in these the story ID is 2, and the 3 is a milk and the 4 is a fruit. Store data. Remember the one thing, enums are the case sensitive. Only entered the case sensitive. Either it's thrown errors, either it's not detect the value. So like this. These are the such as cases we have to using order in the real-time scenarios, in the real-time scenarios is order is pending, processing, shipping, or delivery, or in the IT sectors we have the admin or spying them, like it's a primary key order ID is an int, it's specifying the order ID, and then update that's pending the processing and the shipping or the delivered or the cancelled. This is most cases we have to use them enums in the real cases. Product category, like user role, admin, or whatever, and the product category, like this scenarios you can use this. What was the set? The set is data type is similar to enum data type. The set allows to select the multiple values from the creating a table. The enum, what was the multiple values in the following creating table, but you can list along with this the speak the columns in the table intercept. This is the example user preference table. We can the enums we can select only the one item, but in the set columns we can set allows you to select the multiple values, so more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 we can select all of them. We can add, like you can use the, we have the using the SQL in the cart. This is one of the use sorry, like this is the user preferences. Most of the times you have to using the email, you have to select the SMS or the push notification like this. This will allows you successfully inserted the value the 12, the insert the email and SMS and the push up notification. Set is used when you want to the multiple values the inserting. And then we have the creator table. In this table we have the small values or tiny text. Tiny text indicates only the take the values 255 characters, and very small values is a text indicating the text. Text means it takes 65535 65,535 characters, and the approximately 64 KB for the each one value. And the larger text is a medium text. It takes 1600 215 the characters, means it's approximately 16 MB. If one's values up to takes the 16 MB, and the larger text it's a take hues, it takes approximately up to the 4 GB, but very rare cases we can use them. While it's observing it takes the entire inserting, like it's in this has a double quote. If you want to insert the double quote using in front of using the slash indicates you can use the double quote, and the slash n is a new line. Using the slash n you can present the new line, and the slash r carrier returns. So carrier returns. Slash t means tab space, so give the spacing, and then double black slashes. If you use the double black slashes, means one was removed and one will be the present. That's it. We can show the example. Insert it. Oh, this is not. Skip examples. It's inserted data. Showing this is something. The slash n slash means had the semicolons. Adding the new line. It's a new line indicates like this. We have this, and the r means carrier returns. It's remove the spaces. And the column 1 column 2 it's a tab means tab spaces, but it's given the one space. Right now there is no space, that's why showing like this. And then we have the double black slashes indicates only the one black slash for the present. These are the present while you are dealing something. If you want something like this, especially as these are the examples. And then we have next we have the binary is one of the data type. It's like a characters. It's 8. It means it stores the 8 bytes of the data. So it's entered to create a table. It's inserted the 8 bytes of the data as one as a binary, so binary values. And then we have the variable. It's a variable. Next we have the data type like a variables binary. The variable binary is the data type, the variable length of the binary data. You specify the maximum size of the binaries, string with them. Parents I show in the example. Let's discuss the numerical data types. The tiny int. Let's start with the tiny int. Tiny int takes the only 1 byte of storage, like is the minus 128 to 127. Here I specified the unsigned. It takes only the positive values, not take the negative values. You can use the unsigned to take only the positive values. It's not negative values. If you want to negative value also, if you want to, or if you not mention the sign, it's all, it is represent as a signed integer. Then we have the next primary key. Primary key is small int. A small int takes only 2 bytes of the storage, like it takes the negative, it takes up to 65 values, negative to positive. It's that's why I specified the unsigned. It means it's only take the 0 positive values. And the medium means takes up to 3 bytes of storage. This is the values. Only unsigned, it I specified unsigned means it takes only the positive values. And then we have the int. Int takes 4 bytes of the storage. So most of the times we have to use int, but if you are the less storage, if you have integers, the storage will be because that's why we most of the cases we use the medium int or small int based on the values. The int, but we you see that most of the tables have the int values only, not the small int, big int, or the tiny int. Tiny int, it's these are the values. Is unsigned present means it's take only the positive values, 4 bytes of the values. And the big int stores very large number, up to 8 bytes of storage, unsigned. And this is a the sign means it takes the both positive and negative. This is unsigned, it takes the both positive and negative. Then I create the tables, hit enter. Remember the one thing, sign it takes the both positive and negative values, unsigned only takes the positive values. And then we have the booleans. The booleans is like a 0, 1 or 0, or take as a positive or the sorry 1 or 0, or take as a true or false. They create a table. Food, it's created the column and inserting the values. It's inserted the values. It's only the take the true or false values. The true, either to take the true, either it's take the false values. This is a boolean values. Successfully inserted. I have the decimal values. Decimal means a decimal, float, and double. Data types. I'll show you the example. The price is a decimal. Decimal means the decimal has mentioned the 10 and comma 2 after the 10. The 10 indicates the 10 decimals. The value take until the 10 decimals, and then we have the after the dot we can 10 we took only the 2 decimals. The float is like a data stores the numerical data with the floating decimals, unlike the decimal data types where the scale is defined. The float point that have the decimal points, it is always same, the located to the decimal points. The float that represents like a 1.2 is a float. They have the rise prices and weight have the use float. Height have the double. The double is a type of the short double precious. It also allows you to store the number with an undefined scale that has the decimal points some places in the numbers. The double data is similar to the float, as a double can be stored more accurately in SQL. The float is used the 4 bytes and the double uses the 8 bytes. Now, based on the scenarios, we can use the float and double. Which is many cases in the many digits we have the more digits we have to use the float double, either the 4 bytes, 8 bytes. And the date is like a the date type is store the dates is like a year, month, and the date. This is a specified pattern. You can mention this like a date. And then we have the time indicates the stores the time says hours, minutes, and seconds. The form represent the hours, minutes, and seconds. And then the date time is the date represents store the data. The time is one value with format like a year, month. So combining both of them, date and time, it's called as a date time. It's saves the both date and time. And then year, the year stores the year format of the data. Like again, this is an example. And then we have the timestamp, default current timestamps. Most of the times we can use this current timestamps by the fetching the logs or something. User logged in, which time the user logged in, you have the timestamp. Let's store this timestamp. And then I save it, and then I created the table. Insert the data, and select all. This is something. This is a budget. the example of this, uh, and then describe